The harsh reality of Joe Biden's America really coming into focus these past couple of weeks. The president getting ridiculed online as hashtag empty shelves Joe over the supply chain crisis he waited too long to fix. And if that wasn't bad enough, gas prices are up 10% in just the past month to their highest level in 7 years. The buck never seems to stop with this president, but listen to what then candidate Biden had to say last year when people were trying to stock up on food and goods.
We don't have a food shortage problem. We have a leadership problem. One of the reasons why we're not getting material and food to people's tables is because there's no way to get it transported to there. We don't know how to manage what's going on. We can't afford to let people go wondering where they're going to get their next meal. And so right now, hunger today isn't about scarcity. It's about massive failure in leadership.
And earlier today, President Biden once again pushing his massive $3.5 trillion cradle-to-grave welfare expansion spending plan, even amid this record inflation.
We cannot be competitive in the 21st century in this global economy if we fail to invest. But pay your fair share. Just pay a decent portion of what we lay out in this piece of legislation. If you add it all up over these years. And the cost of the Build Back Better bill in terms of adding to the deficit is zero. So when I hear people say it costs $3.5 trillion, and be honest with you, we're probably not going to get $3.5 trillion this year. We're going to get something less than that.
So we got to lie, we got to whisper, and we got to backtrack, Katie.
We should call it a show.
That's good. We're good, right?
That's a lot to handle. We got all kinds of things. So the president is trying to blame private industry for not getting the job done. But I did a little bit more research on this problem with the port in California, specifically having all of these shipping containers that are not being unloaded. Well, leave it to leftist policies in California to compound problems that Democrats have implemented on the federal level. Remember that California passed AB 5, which eliminates private contractors essentially because they have to be classified as employees. Well, it turns out there's a lot of private contractors who drive trucks. And in California, there are 75,000 of them. So there's this problem now where these companies who are trying to offload all this stuff to get it across the country can't find workers and drivers who have trucks because California reclassifies them as full-time employees, even though they're private contractors. The White House this week actually has taken the idea that they want to unionize these guys. They're arguing that workers are being mistreated, that they need to be in a union. When these contractors are saying, no, we just want to work for the people we want to work for, and a lot of us have trucks, and we're unable to do that as a result of your policies. So that is one of the main reasons why you're also seeing a lack of this stuff getting across the country. And one more thing, I mean, Joe Biden said this week that people are going to work throughout the night on the highways, right? They're going to clear out the highways to have more drivers. Where are you going to find the workers if you have all these independent contractors who can't work as a result of this law that California passed 2 years ago?
So Katie did some research for the show today. Brian, have you done your research?
Show kind of snuck up on me. I took a lot of calls. Yeah, I did. Really did.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. I mean, I've been thinking about it, talking about it over the last few days, starting with that tweet. When that was retweeted by Ron Klain, Brett, to drop names, Brett Baer was in doing the radio show to drop shows. And he came in and he just said, I cannot believe Ron Klain just retweeted. This is a high-class problem. And the thing is, I think what the president misunderstands is that this is the only thing outside the pandemic that you could see in your lifetime that hits every single person. It's just how you handle it,
right.
How you handle the gas, how you handle trying to rent a car, buy a car, how you handle trying to buy some milk, some meat. And can you buy milk without meat? Don't think so, because I like to dunk.
You dunk your meat in milk?
Yeah, it's a long story.
What are you, Prussian?
This is why I don't do the cooking segments on Fox and Friends. What am I, Prussian? That's good. It would later become Russia. No, Germany. You're right. But what I was saying
Austrian, Hungarian Empire. It's all the same.
Yeah, Austria. Yeah, but Prussia would later become
Anyway,
Germany.
the shelves are empty, Brian.
That's all he did.
Here in America.
What I would like to add is this. He just amalgamated everything that they told him before the event. You're not going to get $3.5 trillion. It's going to cost you nothing. It's going to be $2 trillion, but it doesn't matter anyway. It's going to be free. That scares everybody. Even when Larry Summers weighs in and says, look at what's going to happen with inflation. This is not the time to spend. And the looming underneath is the oil and gas. He's begging them to start pumping again in America. Mm-hmm. How dare he when he actually defamed them for the past 9 months?
Excellent point by Kilmeade that the price increases affect everybody in this country, just as the pandemic did.
Yeah, and everybody gets it. When you go get gas and it's 40 3% higher, I think it was, than it was a year ago. People get that. That's your everyday life, running kids to work and to school and all that kind of stuff. And as you point out, we have this headline, and now confirmed by people who are speaking on off the record, that they are talking to the White House about, please produce more gas. This administration has promised to get rid of fossil fuels.
Yeah.
They have stopped drilling leases for people. They've talked now about the fact that they may unleash from the Strategic Petroleum Reserve, which is supposed to be for super duper, catastrophic events where we can't get oil out of the Middle East and that kind of thing. People get it. And these industry insiders now in oil and gas are saying, no, thank you. You've been talking about destroying us. We're not going to work with you on this. At least we don't have an appetite to do it.
Get a 4-year contract. Get a longer contract. Get longer commitment.
Get something out of it, because crude has hit, I think, $80 a barrel here in the U.S. for the first time in 7 years. So these guys don't want to play this game when they have an administration who says, we're going to get rid of you.
And that's a tough line that we just played from Biden when he was running that says, if you see empty shelves, it's a failure of leadership. I could see that running in every district in the midterms.
The midterms are going to be tough, and they were going to be tough even if we had had an easy recovery, actually. It's just what history dictates about a president. And, when they have control of everything, you get 2 years. That's how we got the Affordable Care Act. And then Obama had a really tough time. I was talking last night with my mother-in-law about the empty shelves thing. She said she lives in northern New Jersey, said, I'm noticing this more and more. And then we started talking about how during the pandemic, when there were empty shelves, we all understood why. Right, there was a clear reason that we could not get
Kilmid was hoarding toilet paper.
Right, which was a mistake in retrospect. I
Yeah, but you still have some, and we're going to need it.
Release the strategic toilet paper reserve. You're right.
Now,
It's going to cost you more money.
I myself did hoard toilet paper in my sins.
Yeah, we all did. No one knows why, but we all did.
I used it eventually. I finished yesterday, basically. But that's something that, yes, every American understands right now. And if you look at the latest batch of polling, even though it seems like President Biden's personal favorability has ticked up in the last couple of polls, you see the CNN poll had him at 50% favorability. I mean,
so did CBS and so did Morning Consult. Had him at around 50% over the weekend.
Look at his research.
Well, but the falling away from independence and people who feel like...
I wasn't done. I was going to say some negative things. Yeah.
Well, please continue.
Well, in that case, we'll let Jessica speak.
Give her more time. Blow the break.
The numbers that are really concerning are, the lack of trust, certainly on handling of the pandemic, and inflation. It's 80% of Americans who are concerned about inflation. That's independents, Republicans, and Democrats. And that makes a difficult midterms even more difficult when you go into it. And I think when we've talked about this a lot, just acknowledging people's pain goes so far for politicians, no matter what party you belong to. And just saying, I know it's rough out there right now, and these are the steps that we are taking.
Well, if you keep talking like that, we'll let you talk longer, Jessica.
It doesn't seem like it. It looks like you're going to a commercial.
We gotta go.
For now.
Up next, every parent is going to want to hear this. As the left focuses on masking your kids, a stunning new report reveals how badly our children are suffering academically.